All right, so that's Fuse versus Avengelyne. It's going to be interesting to see if Fuse whips out him he did before. It did work in the past against
Yeah.
Mercator, but Avengelyne with the big mind might not fall to those petty tactics.
I mean,
do
I want to
think
see. This is what I want to see. Okay. If Fuse has the cojones to dance on Avengelyne again because he danced on Mercator. I want to see if he'll pull out the DM dance. Because if he doesn't, I want to see the dance. Okay, Fuse, if you danced once, dance again.
yeah,
Are you
I'd be
gonna dance
disappointed.
on Avengelyne? I don't know if he will, but I want to see dances on Avengelyne. I doubt he does. We'll see.
He just put a campfire up. I don't know if he's looking to camp into dampening. Now, that would be the toxic move of all. I'd be very disappointed in Fuse, but he might just be going
That's the
right into
campfire.
Avengelyne's face.
Opening right on Avengelyne, right away pouncing, immediately on Avengelyne, getting his bleeds up. Thorns being used immediately by Fuse. There's the Shield of Vengeance. That's going to do so much damage. Fuse smart by getting away from him, but you get caught in travel form and a Hammer of Justice. Big damage now by Avengelyne, crushing Fuse.
Immediately, Fuse having to trinket, having to get away from this Evangelyne's nuclear wings, trying to end the game quick, but was unable to. Fuse, still holding on to the Incarn, was able to bleed up Evangelyne. No Shield of Vengeance either, so he's going to have to waste a little bit of mana to heal himself up
Look,
here.
I feel like Avengelyne is in the advantage, right? He got Survival Instincts from Fuse. That's his wall. Okay, he has one more charge left, I believe.
And
he got
his
his trinkets,
Mhm.
so he got a lot of CDs out of Fuse. I mean, that was a fair trade, I would say, for the wings, but I think Avengelyne's in the lead right now. What do you think, Savix?
Yeah, it does look safe for him, but we never know. He still has Incarn. He has the mobility. He can kite Avengelyne whenever he wants to. He's doing a lot of damage, forcing out that cooldown from Avengelyne, eye for an eye, and he is kiting away. He needs to get that bubble and bob with Incarn so he could kill him on the next go. But we'll see how Fuse plays this out. Waiting for DR probably here.
I'm waiting for the dance by Fuse. That's what I'm waiting for, ladies. I want to see the dance. Give me a dance, Fuse. I know you're probably listening in the background. Give me some kind of dance. You danced before, dance. I want to see the little bit of the BM, okay? You can't start out cocky and not go for the whole thing. I want to see the cockiness the whole way out, okay? You can't just pull back now. Avengelyne all over Fuse in bear form. One Survival Instincts left. Full Hammer of Justice again, timing that so well out of bear form. Avengelyne's gonna crush Fuse. Minus one shot.
My God!
He's fully dangerously low. Fuse bashing him, raking him, getting away, trying to get behind that pillar, maintaining his distance, trying to heal up again. But Avengelyne's tying him down on that goat mount, that Dark Iron Dwarf goat mount, trying to run him down here. Fuse really has nothing left. No walls, no trinket. Does have Incarn, but he's been holding on to that this whole entire match.
Fuse is unable to get Evangelyne's bubble or bop. Still holding on to the Incarn though this entire match. Not really sure what he's waiting to bait out of Avengelyne. It's going to be very hard for him to lock him down though anytime soon. His second or third round of wings for Avengelyne is coming up. DR for Fuse is off though, so it's looking like the next engagement, Avengelyne might just be able to.
I don't know. Avengelyne has a huge advantage right now. He has.
I'm not sure why Fuse is holding on to Incarn. He needs to pop
going
his
for the eye. Wow, amazing play there by Fuse, falling him to the eye, raking him right before he right as he grabs the eye, not using his Incarn, obviously waiting to get some kind of trinket from Avengelyne, trying to get some Shield of Vengeance from Avengelyne. So it's trinket available, but Avengelyne can one-shot Fuse. He got very low there, Savix.
He has both wings up, all his cooldown except for SOV. Fuse waiting for that DR, popping right on him with that rake and stunning him into a Wake of Ash there. Big execution sentence. He will go for the wing combination here. He's probably building up Hodge, popping eye for an eye so he can stay out here. He's keeping him in the middle so he can't run into the pillar with that mobility he has. The wings is being popped. Big Wake of Ash being handled.
Huge damage by Avengelyne. You know better than anyone, Savix. He's running him down. Fuse getting to that pillar. Needs to be careful here. No more walls available by Fuse. So even if he trinkets, he's gonna have to trinket and shift it into bear form. Here comes the rake opener again by Fuse. This is a back and forth matchup. I like this so much more than the Ellie version. Avengelyne all over Fuse here. Fuse all over Avengelyne. There's the thorns. Avengelyne has nothing left. He's gonna bop off, trying to bop that off and trying to reset the fight here. But if Fuse jumps back on him with trinket available and Incarn, Avengelyne's in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, Avengelyne is in a lot of trouble. Now he has no bop. He has Incarnation. Maybe this was the moment he was waiting for. He grabbed the eye. He's taking extra damage as well here.
Using that wild charge, but caught again. Avengelyne with his hammer. Even rookie, every time he gets away, using the Ring of Peace, Avengelyne uses his Hammer of Justice, making sure that when he shifts forms, he catches him there, forces trinket by Fuse. Fuse has no trinket, only has Incarn. Avengelyne has his wings, trying to stall this fight out. I could expect, trying to Wake of Ash him out of stealth there. A little BM, a little risky there. Almost got it though.
Very close
Avengelyne
indeed.
having his second wings available though for the next DR stun on Fuse with no trinket. Wall is up though for Fuse. Still no Incar in this entire match, allowing Thorns to do the majority of the pressure against Avengelyne, not wanting to hit too much into Thorns, popping eye for an eye. Lots of damage being thrown
So
out.
much
Huge
both ways.
damage though
Oh,
coming
it's super low. He could one-shot. He could one-shot Fuse right here. Fuse trying to get away. Avengelyne still has bubble, has Shield of Vengeance. He might, if he reopens here, Avengelyne still has bubble. He can't opt to use his bubble here. Fuse just having to run away on his own damage. Hasn't used Incarn though, right? This is very reminiscent of the
there is the
Super
Incarn
Tease
right
matchup.
now.
There it is.
Incarn is up, trying to do as much damage into Avengelyne. There's
Shield of
Eat it
Vengeance
up.
doing so much damage on that Incarn and forcing Fuse to run away on that Incarn because of Shield of Vengeance. All over him. Here comes the mechanic goat mount getting raked as he pushes around the corner. Here comes the Thorns by Fuse, though. They're both falling super low. Hammer of Justice onto Fuse. Here comes Avengelyne's turn to do some damage, but he's opting to heal himself up. Very nice play, holding onto that bubble. Wake of Ashes being used by Avengelyne. Fuse staying around 80% health, though. No cooldowns left for Fuse, though. If Avengelyne can turn this around, now using Eye for an Eye, it's looking good for Avengelyne.
Fuse trying to separate himself from Avengelyne, but choosing to go back in, getting some bleeds up. There is his main wings from Avengelyne, not getting a lot of value at all. So his next wings is up in 15 seconds, though, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully trying to end the match on Fuse with no trinket, no wall for 35 seconds. Avengelyne still holding on to his bubble. Wings coming up right now. 3,
There's
2,
Thorns being
1.
used once again. That's going to rot down Avengelyne. Full Hammer of Justice
it
on
is.
to Fuse. Nice trinket there by Fuse. Running away on the wings. Avengelyne falling low. Trying to lock him out on Holy so he can finish the game there. Right, Savix? But Fuse not trying to fake the kick there. Falls super low. Pox bubble. He's going to go all in for each other. They're both falling super low. Here comes the goat mount. Gets stopped. Is he DC?
Avengelyne is playing safe. He's getting some nice heals out, getting raked by
raked,
Fuse.
though.
Fuse trying to do the most damage. Maybe finish here. He doesn't have any bubbles or defensive. He just got his Eye for an Eye back. Avengelyne popping Eye for an Eye right away. Gets kicked by Fuse. Fuse, a beautiful kick there. And Avengelyne trying to stall out much as possible. You're popping his ratio to clear out the bleeds.
Hammer of Justice
Popping
in
his
bear
wings
form.
with the stun.
But
Big
still
damage
so
coming in
much damage through bear
combination.
form. He's crushing Fuse right now. Fuse has to run away. No trinket using survival instincts there. That's the last wall from Fuse. Avengelyne has nothing left either. They're both around. I mean, Fuse is a little bit lower here. Avengelyne at full HP, but all it takes is one setup by Fuse, or Fuse can top himself up. 11% dampening. They're both going to have a hard time recovering from the situations. There's no CDs left. Shield of Vengeance now up for Avengelyne. If he procs that and gets some kind of setup there on Fuse, he can one-shot him. He's looking for it right now. Then goes for the Flash of Light. No Hammer Justice available in that situation. Going to top himself off. Obviously, Fuse showing a lot of respect for Avengelyne, not dancing on him this time out, but I was hoping to see that.
Definitely no BM coming out of Fuse, but maybe because he respects his opponent a little bit more than he did Mercator. A big fatty Hodge into Fuse, but unfortunately he was in bear form, can't do a lot of damage. Avengelyne looking to start some pressure onto Fuse. Fuse popping his Tiger Fury. Avengelyne taking a lot of damage now, popping the Eye for Eye, trying to reflect, trying to get Fuse to disengage. Fuse just reapplying the bleeds, refreshing everything he can, immediately disengaging from Avengelyne. This is exactly what he needs to do. Incarm is coming up from Fuse. He has no trinket. Wall is coming up in 35 seconds.
He
Trinket
did get
Fuse
locked
is
out on
up.
that heal though, Recordtron. He got locked out. Full Hammer of Justice on Fuse.
Big
Fuse
wins.
has no time to dance here.
Oh, he's
Fuse
killing himself with the
Super
thorns, but barely kills him! Almost killed himself with the thorns!
80%. Oh my,
Oh my
goodness.
god.
Insane
goodness.
red nuclear damage, ladies
Dude,
and gentlemen.
respect-
I'm
dude.
telling you.
That was
Respect to
insane.
Fuse, respect to Avengelyne. Both of these players are absolutely insane. Like, no
Holy
BMS.
cow.
They're both playing out of their minds. Shout out to both these guys. They're playing so well. I mean, that was insane. Fuse playing crazy. Avengelyne playing crazy. Going for the one-shot gamble there. I mean, it was absolutely insane. Through Thorns, they're both playing so well. You have to give credit to Fuse.
Yeah, that was
and Avengelyne
beautifully
there.
played out. I
Insane
think
matchup.
Avengelyne knew the risk from the Thorn taking damage, but he had to finish. If he didn't, he had Incarn available and no bubble, no cooldowns left. And Avengelyne would have went down if he didn't finish there. And
I love both. I mean,
yeah, that
I
was
don't know,
very
man.
good play.
Fuse played that so damn well, dude. Like, they both played it so well. Like,
I did not expect Avengelyne to win. I honestly didn't even know who won at the end there. They were so low health. It was
Yeah.
insane. Like, it happened
Yeah.
in a split second. Like, just the amount of health that just got taken away from Fuse. Absolutely demolishing them at the very end there. I did not expect that amount of damage, though. I really didn't. That was insane. Insane.
I mean, he went for the gamble, right? He was hitting through Thorns, if I believe. If I believe
Yeah, he was.
correctly, he's going through thorns, gambling it right there. It was at least 1% HP and barely took down Fuse. Fuse doing an excellent job maintaining his distance, getting those bleeds up, reopening on Avengelyne. They're both insane players. I mean, they're both showing their expertise in 1v1s here.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely was probably the closest match we might even see today. The amount of damage that was coming in from both sides was
Did you see that, Stiz? You were
See
asking
what,
for some emote, and Fuse did the /scared emote for us right now.
I mean, okay, I'm just trolling Fuse, right? Like I said, I love the cockiness. I'm not hitting on Fuse at all. Played that insane. You have to give so much credit
Yeah,
to
that
him. If
was
you actually
good.
appreciate PvP and arena, and you kind of know what you're watching, they played that so well. Like Fuse played that so well, trying to get the trying to lock out Avengelyne on Holy. I mean, he played it. They both played it amazing. I can't discredit either of these players.
Mm-hmm.
Fuse whipping out that campfire, trying to show us that he's maybe gonna wait until 100% dampen match. Pray and hope for that. We know that that's the best type of content we want is people waiting for dampening, but he's actually deciding to go charging in straight into Avengelyne, not caring about his damage, not caring about the front up true nuclear damage that Avengelyne can deliver to him. He's popping his big shield of vengeance, trying to maybe combo him down here.
Avengelyne falling super low early on in the match, gonna top himself. Vengeance, decent amount of damage there. Here comes the wings by Avengelyne all over Fuse here. Fuse not using his wall there, deciding just to kite away. Nice play by Fuse. I respect that. Trying to kite away, avoid some of this damage, but he might still be forced to use his wall here. Deciding not to. Going to heal himself, using that pillar to his advantage, using that mobility to his advantage. I think this is a little bit better of a play from Fuse. There's a trigger by Avengelyne. Avengelyne hasn't used no wings though, right? That was the baby wings, right, Savix?
Baby wings, baby wings.
Can you explain the wings to everyone in chat? Everyone in chat.
Baby wing. So he has 2 buffs. This is his main wing right now. I'll explain it right after this. Big damage is coming out. Fuse still not using any of his walls, using his mobility to get away. So baby wings is Hammer of Reckoning. And you have to stack that up 50 stacks every time you hit into a blessing. You have 2 blessings, so it stacks up double times. And every time he gets that, he get a mini wing on a 1-minute cooldown. And he baits that cooldown with that. But Fuse is not falling for it this time. Fuse getting that restart, applying those bleeds. Big wake up. Execution sentence, big bash. Fuse just trying to dump out some damage. There's the Incarn as well.
Crushing Avengelyne right now. Avengelyne having to use eye for an eye in the situation, falling very low. Hopefully he's not to trade out bubble. There's the full stun on the Fuse. Fuse not triggering on his own Incarn. They give you so much damage. This is so bad. Fuse falling at like 2% HP, cutting away. That was so close for Avengelyne. He's still on Fuse. The goat mount all over Fuse. Trying to
charge
cut away.
a little bit too far.
Fuse having to trinket there. 1 wall left. That was so risky by Fuse. Really playing that smart, but it almost cost him the match there.
That was literally just an RNG on the crit, or if it was not going to be, Fuse living at the edge of his life, trying to bait something out of Avengelyne. No bop, no bubble. Has Shield of Vengeance coming up. Eye for an Eye is also available soon. Trinket still there. Mini Wings coming up in 15 seconds. Fuse gambling his life right there. Amazing.
As they cut away, I have to say, Fuse's Mog is probably the best Mog I've seen all day. That Mog is so pog champ. I don't know. Like for me, I mean, he looks so good. His Feral form looks so good. Kind of makes me want to reroll Feral because they look so sick, but I'm probably the worst Feral NA. Avengelyne has every CD in the book. Wings coming back up. Fuse has 1 wall left. No Trinket, no Incarn. I don't know.
Rekachon, tell us about the 2-ton sword Avengelyne's carrying. You like to talk about that.
Avengelyne literally carries in his back pocket the heaviest object in the history of the universe. Thor scuffs, has nothing compared to this guy. Trying to drop it down on a Fuse skull here, but Fuse literally too agile, but there is a huge Hodge trying to do his big damage. This is the big wings. There's actually mini wings right now going into Fuse. Fuse trying to disengage.
Blocks that last wall. No Trinket available. Fuse is kind of stuck. He needs to get away. Gonna try and get that pillar, heal himself up, but now Avengelyne has every CD in the book for this next go.
This is not looking good for Fuse.
Savix knows what's about to happen. Fuse needs to just kind of just stall this out. Going for the eye, rakes him before the eye, gonna reopen on Avengelyne, trying to bait some CDs out here.
Avengelyne has his main wing. He puts execution sentence. He's setting up here with the big stun. Big wing. The big damage is coming. Wake of Ash will be dropped as well here. Can Fuse survive this damage? He's barely getting away.
Oh my god, that judgment almost took out Fuse. Fuse has his wall back up and Trinket. Really close go there by Avengelyne. He knew he didn't have Trinket 5 seconds or so. So that trinket coming back up at that last moment is not going to reset the fight, I would say, for Fuse. Fuse can kind of kite this out, wait for dampening if he wants, but he's not waiting. He's putting on a show for the fans. He's immediately opening back up onto Avengelyne, trying to get some CDs out of Avengelyne before his next real go with Incarnation.
Avengelyne popping the eye for an eye during the thorns, trying to reflect as much damage as possible. Huge stun into Fuse right now. Popping his mini wings, trying to end the game here as quick as possible. Gets a fatty flash of light during the wings. Topping himself very quickly, using his ramp to try to get as close as he can to Fuse. Big damage though going into Avengelyne. Still Bop available and Trinket and Bubble though. Fuse deciding to get some distance while available Incarn and Tiger's Fury. Fuse might be looking to set up some damage here, but Avengelyne looking very healthy. Cooldown wise, very looking like he's not having a lot of damage able to line up here soon, but he can survive any go from Fuse.
People asking who Fuse is in chat. He's the highest rated feral on NA right now. I think he's like 3360. So he's definitely no schlub. He's a very smart player. He's playing this super well, but this match is just going a little bit more in the favor, I would say, of Avengelyne this time. What do you think, Savix?
Yeah, Avengelyne is playing this out perfectly. Being a dwarf as well plays out big time. Just being able to clear out the bleeds, I think that's what Fuse is afraid of as well. He wants to get that out of the way before he pops Incarno. That would be the biggest disadvantage for him. And being an Iron Dwarf is so good right now for Avengelyne.
I'm pretty sure that Iron Dwarf might be the best race for Rhett. So Avengelyne definitely using that to his advantage against the Feral Druid. It's pretty much the perfect race for this matchup. Able to get huge amounts of damage from that racial with all the bleeds on him, with the wings combination and Haji. That's how he's able to one-shot Fuse in the past couple matches.
Man,
I'm just a lot of come on bros in the chat, but did I miss something?
I'm just loving reading this chat right now. This is half the show. You guys are hilarious. Fuse opening on Avengelyne once again. Avengelyne having every CD in the book right now, falling super low there. There's the Thorns sitting in bear form, pulling a page out of Super Tease's book, staying in bear form this time. Doesn't want to get caught out, trying to make some distance here. Avengelyne super low though. If he gets locked down in a hole, he's might be bad. There's huge trouble on Avengelyne. Avengelyne goes down.
Oh my god!
Say what now? Fuse proving all those doubters in the chat wrong.
Oh my goodness.
Right there. Super sick plays by Fuse. We're going to the third and final game.
Still have Bubble and Bob. How unfortunate is that?
That mind game at the end that he was playing right there. He was puking a little bit
honestly,
close
that was
the
biggest BM in the chat, right? He was BMing dancing before. That was insane. If you don't know what happened, I can't help you there, but really timed out that lockout. Hit him with a huge bite. That was just sick. Eventually didn't get the bubble. Had no reaction time. Bubble is now on a GCD. We don't have auto bubble anymore, right, Savix? So it's hard to time that perfectly, and just took down Avengelyne before the bubble. Played that perfectly, I would say. All right, Savix, take this one away. My voice.
Ladies and gentlemen, 1-1. Fuse taking out his fire again. I'm not sure if he's trying to use that for the spirit. Never tried it before, but might be using the spirit advantage here. Avengelyne in that tombstone in the middle, so that Mr. Fuse cannot run around in his cat form. Avengelyne in a stun, sitting this one. All the bleeds are being applied. Avengelyne not doing the most. Oh, he pops SOV into Thorns, so Thorns will be countered by SOV. Popping the flash shields. Fuse running away, trying to get that reset. He will get that reset barely in time. Avengelyne misses that SOV. Fuse in a very good position. No one expects to be in. Avengelyne rebuffing right there.
Get a reopen up on Avengelyne. Avengelyne get a fully stunned right here by the rake. A lot of damage going into him. Shield of Vengeance to mitigate a lot of it. Full amounts of bleed, but immediately tops with that flashlight. Gets fatty heals with that flashlight. Fuse trying to just disengage as much as possible from Avengelyne. Avengelyne both having his
no CDs really being used here, other than Shield of Vengeance. Tiger's Fury being traded out as well.
Cam has shut down once again here, and Rekatron just blown up there.
Someone needs to fix Sky. Rekatron just absorbing.
Rekatron finally absorbing. Fuse getting super low here. It's stunned onto Avengelyne. Avengelyne maybe could have bubbled and finished it, but didn't want to risk that fight. And Rekatron just finally absorbed
Skype just being scuffed as hell. I'm back in. If you want to fix that,
Fuse now. Mute yourself as well, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. We are good to go, boys.
And we're back.
And we're back, gentlemen.
Rekatron absorbed me into his own galaxy here. Fuse now, no trinket available. Only has one wall available. Avengelyne CD available. Fuse going for the. I mean, imagine going for the eye. Gonna Galactus somebody.
Still not being able to talk. The stun comes onto Avengelyne. Fuse kiting away now onto his reindeer farm. I'm not sure what that is. Is that a Rudolph or a monster? Avengelyne being confused as well as me rebuffing once again. I'm not sure why he rebuffs. It's 1 hour each. But I guess it's for show. It does look nice. He opens up that Bible, reads that John verse, Luke 13, everything, and just gets that wisdom right there. Topping off with that nice flash of heal here. Fuse in the back, waiting for his cooldown, potentially waiting for his survival mode of that nice 1 minute CD. Avengelyne grabbing the second eye here. I'm not sure if I can hear my partners over here. They are here. I'm sorry, brother.
I'm trying to recover.
Siv's trying to recover from that nice absorption right there.
Full Hammer of Justice on a Fuse. Fuse still have 1 wall available. Hasn't used his Incarn. This is, I believe, mini wings by Avengelyne trying to chase down Fuse. Fuse cutting away. Has no trinket available. Only 1 wall available. Hasn't used Incarn. Trying to make some distance. But you amazing wild charge onto that pillar by Fuse. Really taking advantage of this map, which Avengelyne had the choice in picking.
You know he plays a lot of Pharaoh when he can jump smoothly behind that 2 tiny pillars. That was a good move right there.
He plays it super well. Fuse with Wild Charge is definitely insane. Full Hammer of Justice. No trinket available for 3 seconds. Big damage by Avengelyne into Fuse. Fuse using that survival instincts. He's going to be probably okay in this situation. Has been Ruki would say.
A lot of damage,
the eye for an eye by Avengelyne. Avengelyne using his bubble, going for the all-in. This is super risky by Avengelyne.
He's dancing and eating popcorn once again. Not having some. He still has the popcorn in his hand. Looks very cool and delicious. Avengelyne popping SOV to absorb that bleed damage much as possible. Fuse trying to kite away. Doesn't want that SOV to explode on his face. This is his Incarn though, so it's very unfortunate to see it being all absorbed. It might pop on him. It does pop and land on him. Big damage. Big stun coming through. Trinkets it immediately. He doesn't want to sit that damage. Avengelyne just going ham, but Fuse popping Thorns.
Now has to be on the retreat. Thorns is active. Fuse being smart, only trading out Trinket, not using that wall as well. Avengelyne falling super low. He's still on a cooldown time for a bop. There it is. Gets the bop off. And now Fuse has to run on the pillar, try and top himself off. Avengelyne's playing way more aggressive. I believe it's due to the map. I think that bubble was a little risky, but he knows better than I do. Fuse still about 80% HP, getting caught in a bash now. Avengelyne falling super low. This is so bad for Avengelyne here. Full Hammer of Justice now, turning the tables. Wings! Can he one-shot him right here? This is what Red is supposed to do. They catch you in Hodge and do so much damage. No wall available for Fuse. Fuse has to run. Try and retreat. Eye for an eye is now available for Avengelyne, and he does have his wings available, if I'm not mistaken, Savix. Tell me.
He does have his main wing. I'm not sure. This is not looking the best for Avengelyne. Thorns is up. Avengelyne doesn't want to hit into it. Eye for an eye. Maybe he's trading out the hits. Gets that nice flash of heal. Jukes it in there. Big stun. Trinkets it immediately. Avengelyne getting super low, but gets Fuse in the stun. No trinket available. This might be the finishing blow, and Avengelyne gets Fuse down.
No way!
Fuse played that insane. Fuse played that insane.
Wow.
Pre-walled goes. I mean, that was an insane matchup, but Red is just so good at one-shotting you when they catch you in a Hammer of Justice. I mean, he played that well, almost died in that, but the pre-wall help. I mean, I don't know what to say. These two players are insane, but Avengelyne is an insane dueler. I don't know. I don't know who's supposed to win the matchup.
Really good, hands down. That is why
I will say this. I think he might have got a little bit lucky. If it wasn't for him using the mind game with the Skull Bash to kick that flashlight when Avengelyne was low, he might not have been able to kill him right there, and Avengelyne might have been able to.
I mean, I don't know, man. You can't. The thing is, though, I get what you're saying, but you can't say it's luck when you're the one initiating the mind game, right? That was an outplay by Fuse, and he played so well. The pre-walls, he uses his wild charge so effectively, not stuttering on that. I mean, if you use a wild charge and you miss that ledge, not good for Fuse. I mean, he played so well. Avengelyne's just insane. They're both insane players. You have to give credit to both players.